Today in Yemen, hundreds of thousands of supporters of the former Yemeni president Ali Abdullah Saleh have gathered in the capital, Sana'a. Nawal Al-maghafi from BBC Arabic sat down with me earlier, and I asked her to tell me about the former president and why this rally was being held.
So Ali Abdullah Saleh is the former president of Yemen. He was president for 33 years. And then when the Arab Spring happened, he was also ousted by his people and replaced by President Hadi. Now, in 2015, President Hadi was pushed out of the country to Saudi Arabia by rebels called the Houthis. President Saleh took that as an opportunity and allied with them. And since then, they've been fighting, and that's how the war started in Yemen.
So I understand he appeared in person at the rally today. What did he say?
So there's been a lot of tension between Saleh and his allies, the Houthis, in the last couple of days. A lot of people were expecting that he would announce something against the Houthis and declare a basically end to their alliance. He didn't, though, but what he did do is for the first time ever not mention them at all. All he mentioned was his party and how they're powerful and how they're the anchor to the country, basically showing how much support he has, and it was a show of strength.
So what's the basis for this tension?
In the last couple of days, there's been a war of words between Ali Abdullah Saleh and the Houthi rebels leader Abdul Malik al-Houthi. And it's because the Houthis suspect that Saleh is cutting a deal with Saudi Arabia. And if that does happen, that would really weaken them, because without Saleh's support, the Houthis don't have much support on the ground.
Okay, so that political rally was quite important for them today.
Exactly.
All right, now I want you to stay with me for a minute, because I want to talk about an important voice we've had on Outside Source quite a few times. He's been helping to update us on the ongoing conflict. Sana'a resident and political activist Hisham Al-Omeisy. Now, on the 12th of August, he tweeted that armed goons backed by corrupt officials are forcefully taking real estate in Sana'a, that's the capital. They just showed up at my door. Amnesty International says the 38-year-old was detained by armed security officers from the National Security Bureau and that he's being held incommunicado in an undisclosed location. Now, many people online are using the hashtag #FreeHisham now, calling for his immediate release. Now, I understand that you know Hisham. He's a friend of yours.
Hisham is a great friend. He's a great father and husband. And, you know, amidst the headlines, the humanitarian situation and the political situation, his case hasn't gotten enough attention. So I'm really glad you brought it up. But yes, he was taken away a couple of days ago by the Houthi side of the national security in Yemen. A lot of people are pressuring them to release him. We're not sure why he's been taken, but he's just another one of those free voices that has been silenced in Yemen.
And you say that the Houthis themselves are under pressure right now. So what could happen to him? Has this happened before? Have many activists been taken away?
Yes, the Houthis are known to be taking away journalists and activists and human rights activists. But what's shocking about Hisham's situation is that a lot of people have put pressure on them, but it seems like they're using him as a political tool to show that they're in charge of the National Security Bureau in Yemen. We're hoping they won't keep using him as a political tool and that he'll be released soon, because there's absolutely no reason for them to keep hold of him.
Just tell me a little bit about Hisham. I understand that he was an avid user of social media.
Exactly. Hisham was one of those people that when you wanted to know what was going on about Yemen and you wanted to know the truth, the first thing you'd do is open his Twitter account. Every morning he'd wake up and tell us the latest on what was happening from the ground. He would tell us about the airstrikes, about the shelling, and he was never biased. He was never aligned to either side, and so he was a trusted source, and that's what everyone knew him for.
That was Nawal Al-maghafi from BBC Arabic. She sat down with me a little earlier. I'm Saleh.